Ooh, you were actually kind of scary. Not as scary as we are right now, though, because we have more units there that can fight you, and guess what, sucker? Let's get good. I am the gamer under development, and this is Endless Space 2 Penumbra. We are playing as the Diasporid. This is a community custom faction. We have the Sophon's Visual Affinity and the Horatio's Gene Hunter gameplay affinity, and then some really basic traits that increase food and production to keep the faction very simple for new players. If you want, on episode 1, we do stop and show the faction, so as a new player, you can create it in your save and test it out and see how you do with it as well. In fact, now that I think about it, if anybody's interested, I could actually start putting the episode saves up here and you guys could check them out and like load them in your own game if you want. Let me know if that's something you guys are interested in the comments, and I will absolutely do that. Okay. You're gonna come up here within one turn, so hopefully we can intercept the pirates when they try to leave this time, and take them out to get us closer to Enfer is watching win 3 battles with Sophon fleets. Yes, let's do that. Ending our turn. Woo! Okay, so we got our hack on Quarius. I'm calling it Quarius even though it's not spelled that way, because I don't know how to say that. Carius? Carius. We'll call it Carius then, fine. It's Carius. So we can uncover secrets, which will reduce the bribe action cost for 3 turns. We can hack their economy, which will increase the yields that we get from them. We can improve our image, or we can create a backdoor. In this case, improving our image is actually one of the best options we have, so we're gonna go ahead and take that. Because if we get our image with them high enough, what we can do, using a unit of population from this minuses, train a task force, you will be able to use as mercenaries. That's not the useful one. We want the one where they ship population. Since we don't have that, what we want to do is befriend them and then assist them and bring them into our empire so that we can eat them. Because once we get enough of them in our empire, we can eat them and enhance our base population even more than they already are enhanced, which will be great. Autonomous construction is done now, so we have access to coordinated command, which gives us the additional 3 CP, and we have the armored ground troops and the cloaker module. If you guys don't know how armored ground troops work, here's what you want to do. Once you unlock them, you go over to your military tab right here, you click manage on your troop breakdown. You're going to want to bring your infantry down to about maybe 10%, maybe 20, it's up to you. I prefer 10 because the armored units just shine a lot in the beginning. So essentially the way that this works is armor trumps infantry, infantry trumps air, and air trumps armor. So it's paper, rock, scissors here. Now because we got our tanks so early, we may actually fight people before they have them, and if that is the case, we will just roll through them when we run invasions on their systems. Now, we can go ahead and spend dust here to improve our armored units a little bit, but we're not going to do that right now because we don't actually have the dust, and that is excessively expensive. So we're going to go ahead and click confirm there, and as you can see, now our troop breakdown is 90% armor, 10% infantry. There's also some great information about your manpower right here that you can check in on if you're ever curious about why you have negative manpower or something like that. Okay, so we'll back out of there. Get our people moving. Congratulations, you found Fitus, which is a 1-planet system, aka useless. Hello, Academy. Okay, so the Academy is right there. Oh, wait, can't you restore these? Unique planets can't be reconstructed. Okay, I'm wrong. I thought we could restore those. That would be actually really cool in this case. But that is not the case. So we could go take the Academy system if we wanted. We know where it is now. I'm going to go ahead and send a probe down this way and then actually send this unit over here to Korana so that we can start scanning down these systems. The reason being that a 5-planet system is excellent. Like, that's somewhere you want to be. What are you? Ooh, you were actually kind of scary. Not as scary as we are right now, though, because we have more units there that can fight you, and guess what, sucker? We just colonized one of the planets. Which one are we going to colonize, though, guys? Let's be careful and make a good pick. The best one probably would be Deneb 1 here, because it does have 2 food and 2 production, whereas Deneb 4 over here has 2 food, 2 dust, and 3 science, as well as 1 production. That'll make it a more well-rounded system. It does also have this dark glitter here, which gives it additional production, so maybe it's worth it, and this actually has this negative anomaly, so yeah, we're gonna go here. Now that we've got that that outpost going, what we're gonna do is, so if we do that, it'll be a plus 100% food sent to the outpost. That is just fine. we're basically going to do the same thing where we wait for 10 turns and then we pop this, because we know it's only going to last for 5. And now we need to make sure that we keep them from basically doing the same thing we did. We don't want them to blockade the system, because if they blockade the system, we will lose that base. Now let's see what their firepower currently looks like. They have 72 attack and 203 defense. That is much higher than my unit. However, when this scout lands, we'll have more tank, we won't have more damage. So that could be problems either way. For these guys, I'm actually just going to have them blockade here and then maybe do some scanning on Orm now. They were actually supposed to catch the pirates, but it seems like we always miss them, so we're not going to sweat it too hard. Foreign containment is complete. A strange sight greets the expedition team at the second site. The drone is partially sunk in swampland, close to another abandoned vessel. From the tangled growths ensnaring the vessel, it's clear it's been here a long time. You find no sign of a crew, but do manage to reactivate the craft. It'll make a useful addition to your fleet. Oh wow, we got a pirate ship for that. That's actually kind of useful now. We close our borders and keep to ourselves. I will not leave my people exposed. Good for you. You close your borders and we'll close ours, but guess whose borders are reaching further right now, buddy? We have no fear of you. We will fight if y'all want to fight. Let's go ahead and finish scanning down this system entirely. We'll get that, we'll get that. What did we end up getting, by the way? So we got dense atmosphere and some more influence, as well as geothermic activity and some Empire dust. We do have a new hack ready, so what I'm going to do for that hack is I'm actually going to go from Nusakan to RNGC43278569. No, I'm just kidding. What I actually think I'm going to do is probably bounce off Viren here and go to Carius and keep building our reputation with them. We could hack the pirates right here, but unless we could force them to more quickly produce a fleet, it actually wouldn't help us to hack them. We don't really want to hack them right now. We're just waiting for them to send fleets so that we can kill them. In fact, leaving that system alone is the best thing that we can do right now. Okay, and we're actually set up perfectly to catch their ships as they leave and kill them, which is even better. Hey, we got the honeycomb scope. That's actually decently useful. It's not the most useful thing, but it is decently useful. And we have explored 20% of the galaxy. Awesome. Yes, you guys are to stay there and continue your blockading, because that way anything that comes out of there is going to have to fight you. Oh wait, no, you're the extra shuttle, so we'll merge you into that fleet first of all. Now that fleet's got some real firepower, unless we want to send this guy over to here to back up these guys. But I don't know that that's actually going to be that efficient, because his speed is probably not great. His speed is 5, yeah, he's not very fast at all. So what we may want to do now is start looking at designs for our other ships. Actually, we'll wait, because we're about to get a new tier of military technology, so there's no point in us doing it right now. So you guys are fine as well. You can fight or blockade here. We're just going to have you blockade. And I wonder if we blockade, it doesn't mess with our food, right? Yeah, okay, good. I was going to say, if we blockade and it messes with our food, that's kind of annoying. Send the probe. Let us find these Hisho. Honestly, if the Hisho are like right here and we go military fast enough, we might be able to just roll over them. And I feel like we are going military fast enough right here, guys. I really do. Because we now have our 3rd tier of military technology and our blockade kicks in here. We should absolutely melt these guys. Okay, so they have full-on projectile damage, which means we're going to want hull plating, I believe. Let me see. Used it, yeah, exactly. I always double check those because sometimes I get confused. You guys know that. You watch me play on the channel. So we're going to go with this, which will reduce the amount of projectile damage. As you can see, we actually have 2 wings, which will give us a morale bonus. We're not going to watch this because there's really no point. This should actually go fairly in our favor. Like, if we get wrecked here, it'll surprise me. Okay, so we lost a detector too. In exchange, they lost 2 shuttles. We still won the battle, which is 1 towards the 3 that we need, and we're in prime position so that in 3 turns, when another one of those units come out, we're gonna wreck them too. And now we actually have a reason to hack the pirates, because if we hack them, we can reduce the power of the units that come out, making them easier to defeat. Oh, we lost a population. We lost harmony on Rhea. How did that happen? We still have 2, so it doesn't matter because we can still absorb them. It's really scary when you see population lost like that, because what that generally means is that you may have lost the last of a particular population, and then you can't later consume them, which is really scary. Why are we losing pop? I don't understand. Is it because we're shipping 100% more food? It has to be that, yeah. It's because we're shipping 100% more food to our outpost. We're basically losing pop. However, the next loss won't be for another 3 turns, at which point we will have intensive cultivation, unless we do that. But if we do that, it's going to push out Endless Research Park, which seems like a really bad idea to me. This system is diverting part of its growth to Deneb. Yeah, okay. And Military 3 has unlocked. That's exactly what we were waiting for. It does look like, unfortunately, it didn't give us access to very many good, like, projectile weapons. It gave us some missiles. When I say good projectile weapons, I mean slugs. We didn't get any slugs for that. Be the first to raise one of your heroes to level 9, and you will get the Sonic Disruption Net. I don't know what that is, and it won't let me roll over it fast enough to actually see what it is. Although I know we can go look in the technology screen. That's what we should do. Ta-da! Let's go in here, and that is plus 600 damage done to attackers during ground battles. It's a nice little defensive improvement. It's not a great offensive improvement, but it is something. So now that we have that next tier of military tech, let's go in and start playing with our combat ships. So what we're going to do is we're going to build our first protector here real quick. These guys should be relatively easy to build. Because we don't have any fleet speed boosters, we're just going to put engines on stuff that we want. Actually, because we don't have fleet speed boosters, we're going to go ahead and check our attack ship first. Because we need to know how many slots we have for engines here, and we have just one. So we will put one engine in the one engine slot, which means there's no point in putting another engine in our support ships. They only need one, because even if they're faster, the fleet speed will be based on the average of all the ships, which means these will slow it down drastically. So what we're going to do instead... Actually, I don't even think it's average. I think it's just equal to the lowest speed ship in your fleet. Anyway, what we're going to do instead is... Ooh. We could do some torpedoes here and some swarm missiles. That might be interesting. Let's try that out. Let's try swarm missiles and torpedoes and see if that actually works here. And then we'll go ahead and save this design as the missile boat. That's what we'll call it. This is our missile boat. Just a very simple name, just so that we know exactly what it is. And then we're going to go in and we're going to create a support unit to help them out, and that support unit's job is going to be to take hits. And what we'll probably do here, based on our CP, we've got 7... Yeah, we'll probably end up with 2 of these in each fleet. So they only need 1 engine, and then they have additional support slots open. So what we're going to do is make sure that we put probably energy defense here in that slot. And we'll go ahead and give them slugs for their weapon, because slugs actually work as flak against these missiles. And if we give them flak, it essentially provides defense against projectiles, since they don't have that right now with just the energy armor. So we're kind of rounding out our defenses, which is a good idea. The other thing we're going to do with this unit, we can bring this so we get science per command point destroyed. That actually wouldn't be a terrible idea. Nano repair bots is actually a great idea. That increases the amount of health that they repair after battle, and it gives them a health bonus, which is useful. We can also take O2G delivery gear, which will increase the amount of manpower and, once again, the health that they have. Manpower in this case is useful because it helps with invasions. We could also just put these titanium AS2 slugs on there and let them have a little bit of siege power. It's actually not a bad idea. Maybe we do that. I'm debating. We could also do something like that and increase the damage of our projectiles, but that's also not worth it because we only have 1 projectile weapon on the entire ship. The CP thing might be useful here. This costing titanium makes me not want to use it, basically. I wonder if we can do 2 of these. Actually, that's really good. Additional health, and they'll heal for potentially, well, it's not going to be 30%, I don't think, but it could be 30%. And if that happens, then they're just awesome, because they basically go into combat, tank shots, heal up after the combat, and we're all good. So we are going to call these guys the tanks, because that's what they is. They are there to keep our other ships safe, and now what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 tanks, and then 5 missile boats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. So it looks like those are a lot. It turns out they're really not, because what's going to end up happening here is Endless Research Park is going to finish, and then Intense Cultivation is going to finish, and then we're going to get Interplanetary Transport Network, and things will start to steamroll a little bit. And that's what we want. We want it to steamroll a little bit like that. The one thing we do want to do, though, is keep watching that population, because we don't want to lose another Harmony. That'll put us in a really bad spot, actually. Okay, so now we're working on Intergalactic Supermarket, which will help with our dust, even though our dust is pretty good right now. The other thing it'll do is give us accelerated buyouts, which is really, really good. Because with our dust kind of just sitting right now, we could use it to buy out that wonder and finish that a little bit earlier and get our guys back to doing what they do best, which is building ships so that we can go do the scouting or just take things out. That is a pirate fleet right there. So now I'm wondering if we want to send these guys down to deal with them, but I know it's going to be way too many turns for them to get down there, I think, so that's probably not ideal. Now, if we look at Nusakan here, I want to kind of see where they're going. Now they're down to 7 turns. I think that's a lot less overall than we would have been looking at before, so I think they're doing just fine. Yeah, why don't you come over here? You come over here to Sahar and keep your investigations going. I want to know what's down that way now. Reasonably sure that Hisho are right here. So we know where they're at, we can prepare to take them out, that's just fine. And it looks like Viren was hacked. Hey, there we go, we're cordial with our minor faction now, which is great, because being cordial with them means they provide us with 7.7 Empire Dust per turn, 8.2 Manpower, and 4.0 Science. And that is just from being cordial. By the next turn, we'll already have reached the next benchmark, and I'd imagine it won't be very long after that before we break the benchmark after that. Oh, these guys are warmonger factions, provide more manpower than other factions. Excellent, excellent, excellent. See, that's what I was talking about. Providing manpower like that is incredibly useful. You can never, ever have too many manpower, especially if you're like me, and when you go military, your plan is essentially to have so much production that you can just shoot everything at them and never worry about it. Microfactories anomaly found here is actually excellent for us, +3 food, +1 happiness. Gonna go ahead and close that, and what are you doing? You have pirate vessels here. In this case, you actually do want to let your blockade go, because they can go on through. We don't want to fight them with that unit, and we do not want them to stay there and blockade our developing colony, because that would make me very, very unhappy. We are 14 turns out on that colony still, so we're not going to go ahead and spend dust on it. And excellent. Colonize Arid is happening. We're done. So things are going reasonably well for us right now. I'm actually curious what our score is. Population decreasing. Why did we get that? Oh, it's warning me every turn that the population will be decreasing soon, which is actually really useful. I appreciate that. Now that we are amicable with them, we can go see what kinds of different resources we're getting from them. We are not the first to possess 20 star system improvements. The red on that makes me think that maybe the red is the Riftborn. Oh, are you kidding me? They beat us to the Endless Research Park. That's so garbage. They must have bought it out a turn before us. That is so ridiculous. And they built an outpost on Deneb. Really? Really? Is that what you guys want to do, huh? Let me show you something then. Bam! We're gonna absorb 10 food from you, and we're gonna be finished in 4 turns. And if you think you're gonna do anything about it, check this out. Good luck getting a ship in here. Okay. So that is a good way to handle that. Oh, that is so garbage. I can't believe we lost it, guys. We were that close to having it. All those turns wasted, and what did we get back for it? Probably not a whole lot. I mean, I think we got some dust back for it or something, which is still just eh. Okay, intergalactic supermarket will be done very soon, which we can use to get our dust up a lot faster. And look at that. Now our militarists, see, now they have a healthy percentage. Now we can actually back them in the next election, and there's probably a good chance we'll make it. Let's go to the Sisters of Mercy we have just discovered right here. That is awesome. Can we scan anything? No, we can't. Okay, that's fine. Can you go down here? No, you can't, because we don't have free movement yet. We should actually get that rather soon then. We're going to go ahead and start by praising them, just so that we can start to build that influence. Once again, our goal is to get every single miner's population into our faction. That is not what we wanted. We did not want development grants. We wanted the one that sends a population. I forget what it's called, but it's not that. Oh well, hopefully we find another faction that has it, because that would be incredibly useful for us at this point. Let's go ahead and send him back to Korana, where he can go ahead and do some more scanning when he gets there. Alright, populations are looking decent. We could probably use the dust clouds, I think they're dust clouds, to go ahead and increase the number of Harashems we have. That's not a bad idea. Harashems are some some faction that we could absorb relatively easily without suffering too much from it, because basically they would give us more food. It would also get rid of the pacifists, which isn't bad. Although doing these guys, actually splicing their genes would get rid of our ecologists, which would give us a better chance of ending up militarists, I think. So we could do that as well. We're gonna lose 2 population. Is it really worth losing 2 population, though? I mean, we can't ship them anywhere, so we actually are in pop disapproval right now. By 2, so yeah, now is a good time to do this. Let's go for it. This may be a terrible idea, but I actually believe that we're doing this at the right time to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Splice the genes in. That'll also get rid of our economists. And that means that we should no longer have to worry about, or not our economists, our ecologists. So that means we shouldn't have to worry about them building even more support. Because our guys are militarists, now they just get that additional bonus from those guys, and we're not being pushed in to a political faction we don't want to be in. Awesome. Everything looks good. Could potentially move that down, but I honestly think if anything we want to move some things up. Like infinite supermarkets is great, but it's actually not as important as us getting out these combat fleets. So we're going to do that first. And then Nusakan is still building through all of its important stuff. We will build the honeycomb scope here. Actually, no, we won't. That's going to increase our scientist influence if we build it, so we're not going to do that right now. Okay, we should be good. Ending the turn. Galactic Commodities Exchange will finish. That means we can start buying things. Population decreasing in Rhea. So in 1 turn, we're gonna have a massive we're gonna lose a population. That's not something that we want to happen. Oh, how do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? There's gotta be a solution to this, right? I just have to figure out what it is. No, I mean, I don't think there is. I think at this point we're just gonna lose pop. Because we actually do have the additional food from intensive cultivation. We can't generate any more food any other way except this. There we go. That's it, guys, right there. That could be useful. So could that. That would have been useful sooner. This will be more useful now, I think. Do we have anomalies in our home system at all? We do. We have a negative anomaly there that we're not actually taking advantage of. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go for cool copies, because that is just 4 straight up food. That is going to put us negative on influence, but it might buy us a few turns here. It does, in fact, not buy us any time at all. That's really unfortunate. The good news is, at least we're going to lose one of our populations and not our last Harashim. Unless we get some more food here. Let's try that too. That'll give us +1 food per population. Probably not going to be enough. No, it's not. We're still negative 12 food. That is so crazy. How are we negative 12 food? It's all from that outpost that we sent everything to so that we could make sure we beat the other outpost. And ironically enough, we didn't need to send everything to it, but that'll be over in 1 turn. So we're going to actually lose the population right before everything would have been fine, which is incredibly useful. That makes me super, super happy, guys. I'm glad that it's coming down just like that. That's how you know the game is like, ha, sucker. So we're kind of in a bad spot there. Although, actually, let me check something, because there is potential here for us to do a thing. No, we don't have enough. If we had had enough of this red sang here, I was gonna make that our first improvement and go ahead and just build that this turn. Because you can build it in 1 turn, and that would have given us the food to save the pop. That did not happen, though, so basically us consuming the Harmony at that time wasn't the right choice necessarily. Live and learn. Losing 1 pop from that is still not a big deal. Let's go militarist this time, and we're gonna just let our voters do the thing. Okay, so we're scientist militarists now, which is a start, because it means if we stay in our militarist ways, then we should actually be able to overtake the scientists here. Not to mention that Star Boogie Bill is actually not a bad bill for us to have. That does, however, mean we can no longer colonize any planet that we want to. So we have to think about colonization techs more now, and we have a battle at Orm. That is fine. Do you guys still just have projectiles? You do. Yeah, kill them, please. Decisive victory, they're gone. That is 2 wins. We need 1 more to unlock cheaper ships. which may be just in time because I think we are just now reaching the queue to build our ships. Yeah, that would be perfect to get it right now. In fact, because that is such a nice thing, I might put some other things in front of these ships now just to make sure that the ships come out after that. Academy Embassy is not a good one to do though, because that's a lot of turns. Intergalactic Supermarkets may not be good either. Infinite Supermarkets is fine. That's actually a good one for us to put in front of it because that's just one turn. And hopefully, if we're very, very lucky, we will get another battle relatively soon. Empire Development 3, awesome. So we got improved commercial drives, which means that our food ships to our colonies or our outposts will be faster. And then we got developing empire laws, which gives us an additional law slot. Let's go ahead and take a look at what laws are available to us. Lower fleet costs for one is excellent. We'll go ahead and take that. We're probably not going to take any others right now because if we do, it's actually going to take our influence into the negative. It is time for us to do some more research though. So at this point, what we want to be doing is getting things like that will allow us to colonize stuff we want. So we'll get ash colonization right there. And then we're probably going to come over here and get the warp drive to unlock free movement. And this one right here, which will give us Home and Hearth program, which is happiness on cold and all planets. And more importantly, it'll give us the H-Field Accelerator here, which is the speed booster that you want to put on your support ships. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I think once those are done, we should be sort of clear to start doing crazy things like upgrading these, making it so that we can have even stronger fleets, essentially. Or, if we're really lucky, we might actually just get some... Nope, let's do that. We want to keep military ahead of everything else, so we're going to do 3 techs in the military tree in a row after that. So we're obviously going to do this one so that we get more CP, and we also get access to basic bombers and basic fighters. We will do this one because boarding pods was what we were going to do. We were going to test this sneaky module thing with boarding pods, because that seems like a really, really strong mechanic. So we'll get boarding pods there, and then we'll also go ahead and potentially pick up these plasma fighters and bombers. But I think more importantly, we're going to come over here and make sure that we get the best improved ultra-dense slugs right here. So that'll be 3 of them. That's all we need to move on to the next tier. Perfect. That will be absolutely perfect. So we do have access to the Spin project now. So here's something I often recommend to new players who don't necessarily understand the exploitation system or don't want to have to worry about it. Just put a Spin project on everything. Like, no joke. Early game, put a Spin project on everything. The reason for that is it essentially provides you with +1 influence per population on that planet. So if you put it on all of your planets and you have a reasonable amount of population, it can actually generate enough influence to support an entire law on its own. Very early on in the game. That's probably not going to be the case for us because we don't actually have that much pop since we just ate 2 of them. But, you know, it is what it is. And at least the ones we ate give us food to help replace themselves and additional science. Although, honestly, the Harashims give us food too, so I guess we'll eat them next. Yeah, we cannot colonize anything here, but Steppes is probably one of the ones we'll be earliest into. Baron is another one we could do, but Barons are terrible to try to grow on. So let's go ahead and start scanning down these steps. Got what? We got a Ice 10 anomaly and +10 XP on our ships. That's alright. That's not great. Let's have them wait here for more probes, though, because we do want to scan down that entire system. And Deneb should be done at the end of this turn. Yeah, they should be all set as soon as I end the turn. Let's go ahead and do that, then. Bam, baby, there goes Deneb. We are now on three different systems, and we have successfully hacked the Carius again. That's not what I think I was calling them before, but it'll have to do. We're going to go ahead and improve image again. Just because the sooner we can max out our image with them, the sooner we can already do the assist thing. I probably should have just checked that. Oh well. Reach 5 population excluding your main population. Well, that is annoying, isn't it? Because we just ate a bunch. Lupu's hacking operation has been successfully traced. Oh, we got him. We got him. Okay. So we can shut down the hack. Pirates and small galactic players often employ dated or lax security routines, allowing the trace hacking operations to be easily nullified or stand down. Sometimes the smartest move is not to make a move, but observe and wait. Those options are not as good as they used to be, I don't think. We'll just shut down the hack. Haha, your hack got wrecked. What now? In 2 turns they will be, or I'm sorry, in 7 turns they will be popping out another army, so we are rather far off from finishing our quest then. Unless we get some more military units coming in from up there. That would be nice. Okay. Got some more scans ready, and then Deneb is now a system, so we're going to start putting things in queue for Deneb like we would anywhere else. Deneb does not have the strategic resources for us to do an interplanetary network right away. We will do it later on, though. It'll probably be one of the last things that we build as far as city improvements go, or system improvements go, mainly because by the time we build it, we'll have enough population to justify having it. If we wanted to here, we could actually buy out a couple of things, but I don't think that it's worth it to do that. And there we go, we have more Harashems. We actually have 5 Harashems, so that should, if I'm not mistaken, complete that quest that we got. But it doesn't look like it is, so maybe next turn it will. And then, there we go, let's check on everything else. Rhea is building the spin project while we try to finish this quest off. If only there were somebody to brawl with. I'm actually tempted to send these guys out this way. Let's go do that, because we need to know what's out here now. It was enough to send the probe down there for the time being just to make sure that we weren't going to get massively invaded by the He-Show. But not knowing what's at the end of that line doesn't make me feel comfortable. Okay, so we got some more dark glitter. I called them dust clouds earlier. I just think of them as dust clouds. Sorry, guys. That is just my name for them. So go ahead and have them rest up and end our turn. Oh, we do have that hacking operation to assign, so let's go ahead and... We're very close to getting these guys, so there's no point in us hacking them. However, there is a point in us... Nope, that's not what I wanted, game. I wanted to start my hack right here on Nusakan, take it through RNG, and over here. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because going through neutral systems like this, you pretty much can't get traced on a neutral system, and at 6 turns, that means that it will take them 3 turns to get back. Since we know that this will probably only take 2 turns once we get there, they're not going to be able to get back to us in time. Unless they catch us really early, it's going to be hard for them to get back in time. They could also be running something that would help them get us, but I doubt that that's going to be the case right now. And we're going to put an encrypt down on that, because we already had an encrypt running there. Now we've got a defensive encrypt running there. That should keep that safe from the miner here, and also from Lupus. And we should be all good to end our turn. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I want to see if we get that quest completion now, though. Diasporan are growing 6 out of 8 on Rhea right now, and we also finished our spin project and began working on tanks. Did we actually produce a tank? I think we did. We did actually produce our first tank. Excellent, excellent. Baryonic shielding is now done, which means we have the ability to free move, and we also have access to savannas to be colonized, and we have an offensive hacking program that reduces bandwidth use on offensive hacking programs. Unfortunately, we don't have any other offensive hacking programs, so that part isn't particularly useful just yet. Glorification of the Gorgeous is now available to us. That's actually pretty excellent, because for every luxury deposit we have, it'll just make everybody happier. And then we now have the ability to colonize ash planets, which is incredibly important because we are reaching the point on this system where we need to do that. In fact, we need to do that bad enough that I think I'm going to move that to the top of the queue. Maybe not. Actually, putting it on the top of the queue is not a bad idea, because that planet has better production, and if we swap them over, it'll make it so we can finish all of our other ships faster. Unfortunately, though, guys, that is all the time that we have for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed the episode. If you did, go ahead and click that like button. If you want to see more, click the subscribe button, and make sure to ding that bell notification, because if you do, one of the Diasporid will get a spaceship to shoot things in. That works, right? Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace!